This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Entertainment Hour here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Definitely a long day today. I am your host, Dragon Viper, and my co-host here next to me is Crispy Bacon. How you doing, Chris?
I am doing good. I think everybody's had a long day, so I totally understand that.
Yeah, I've even talked to a few people today, and they even mentioned that it's been a very long week. So I don't know what's going on. I know some of the people that I talked to saying it was a long week isn't even in the same town as me. So definitely a crazy week for some, and for some reason. So anyway, and Sarah's not feeling good, so hopefully she gets better so that she can be on for next week. All right, and starting out, first off, we have a comment on here from Brandon saying RIP one Hot Lips. We'll get to that shortly. And anyway. So to start off, like we always do, talk about the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program. So go ahead, Chris.
All right, so tonight's Entertainment Hour. Tomorrow we'll probably be on deck tomorrow. And then we'll have C2C at night. Monday, Tuesday would be C2C Rankum with Big B and Tim. Wednesday's Sports Minute, and then we'll probably have more shows coming, down the line. So.
All right, and that sounds good. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the entertainment world today. Well, not just today, but just within the past week, there has been. So, I mean, we're going to start off with the news, and I'm going to start off with the fact that there has been a lot of celebrities passing away just this week alone. Like I said at the start of the show, Brandon mentioned, RIP Hot Lips, also known as Loretta Swit, real name. She played on MASH as Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. So, 81 years old, and because it happened today, it's unknown what happened. But, rest in peace to her. Other people, other celebrities, Ed Gale. He was Howard the Duck, and he was Chucky on the Child's Play movies. Passed away at 61 years old. He had health issues. Not known if that's what caused him to pass away, but it's a good possibility. And then we have Peter Kwong. He passed away at 73 years old. He played Rain on the movie Big Trouble in Little China. I never actually seen that movie, but I have seen The Golden Child, which he was on as well. And he was he played the character Tommy Tong. So, rest in peace to him. We have 70s rock or 70s singer Rick Derringer passed away at 77. He was in the band The McCoys, and they played songs like Hang On Sloopy and Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, which I remember that song because when I'm around my client, he listens to oldies, and that's one song that usually comes on. I guess he was taken off life support after having medical issues, and he was suffering complications from type 2 diabetes. And then we have Michael Sumler, sorry. Back in the 60s, there was a group called Kool and the Gang. He was one of them. He passed away at 71 years old due to being in a car crash. And then we have, for those that have watched Duck Dynasty, you know, those that have know that we lost Phil Robertson. I watched it only because I was going through DVDs, and I didn't pay much attention, but I was going through them to see if they would skip or not. But I do have a small idea of who he was. He was the patriarch of the Robertson family, the dad. So I mean, he ended up passing away, and he had health issues, and he was 79. And I believe that's all that I end up having for people that have passed away. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that ended up passing away this year. So this week. So I mean, rest in peace to all of them. I remember, over half of them. I mean, Ed Gale. I remember just because Child's Play is one of my favorite, horror movies, alongside, Freddy Krueger. And then I remember Phil Robertson again because of the fact that I kind of glimpsed at Duck Dynasty because just going through DVDs, and then of course Rick Darren. What?
Oh, I was agreeing. I said yeah.
Oh, and then Peter Kwong, only because of The Golden Child. It was one of my favorite movies growing up with Eddie Murphy. Love that movie. But anyway, I'll get your opinion on all these before I move on with the news.
Yeah, so like always, it's sad to to hear all the deaths going on. I think the the creator of Chucky or writer of that what was kind of out well, it was kind of surprising. And then one thing I did know when it came to Phil Roberts was that he did play college football, and he was the backup to one Terry Bradshaw in college.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I think Terry Bradshaw told that story.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
All right,
but
and
it's sad.
yeah, it is. And again, I mean, it's like I said backstage. We're getting older, so we're gonna start seeing celebrities passing away that we know. And then as time goes on, it's gonna happen more and more. So hopefully, it's like I said last week. Didn't get it, but hopefully, I'm gonna say it again this week. Hopefully, there's really nothing that happens between now and next week when we do our show again. So hopefully that nothing happens. And other news, so who the Chrisleys are, right? They had a show on the USA Network. I didn't like that. I didn't like their show. I'm going to be completely upfront and honest. I didn't care for their show. As soon as WWE Raw went off the air, and their show was starting
Mhm.
up, I would always change the channel because I could not stand that show. I thought they were pompous. I thought they were arrogant. And I thought, because they were rich, they were better than everybody else. So they're back in the news. If I remember correctly, they end up going to prison, to a federal prison, because of tax evasion. And well, they're new in the news again, except this time, President Donald Trump decided to pardon them. So because he decided to pardon them, they were released from jail years sooner than they were supposed to be. Um, I, you know, they were, it's a pretty hefty fine, and pretty hefty jail time when, what was it? When you're, evading and frauding taxes. Um, but anyway, he pardoned them. He allowed them to be released from jail. I did see a comment, on Facebook when I was reading about it, and somebody said, "Well, this isn't, The Apprentice. How can you do that kind of thing?" But my question is this fair? I mean, you see, going to Jersey Shore for a second, Michael, Sorrentino, who did the same thing. Although he more got a slap on the wrist. He didn't spend much time in prison, than the Chrisleys. But is it fair that you've got all these other people going through tax frauds, tax evasions, going to federal prison over it, and not getting pardoned by the president, but they are, because they're rich? And is it a right thing? Is it a right thing that he did this? I mean, what's your thought on it?
I mean, the president's gonna do what he's gonna do, and we know with the legal system, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Uh, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a touchy thing, and I
And
think that depending on how much money you have, kind of determines what will happen or could happen.
yeah, I mean, you're rich. Anything can go your way, I guess. I've never been rich, so I wouldn't know what that's like. But uh, and I'm leaving the political stuff off here because that's what we do. But
Sure.
I just kind of find it unfair a little bit that they just happen to be rich, and the president comes up and says, "Okay, you guys can be released from jail or prison early." So I don't know. That's my little rant about them, because I just think they're rich snobs, and the only reason why they even have their name out there is because they're rich. And then Brandon, commented and said the lead singer of the Hulk Hogan theme passed away. I did actually, now that he mentioned it, I did recall seeing something about it, that that guy did pass away, and he is the one who was the original, I guess the original lead singer of his theme song. So,
I didn't
um,
know that. I saw something about it, but I didn't put two and two together.
well, I figured I had enough celebrities that had passed away. But yeah, I mean,
I
Brandon is
get
right. Um, Brandon is right that that guy did pass away the last few days. So, um, the lead singer of, Hulk Hogan's theme song, and so hold on a sec.
Yeah, it's crazy how all these people are just finding out or learning about all this new stuff, and I'm sure it's not going to end. It won't end.
Yeah. And then another thing in the news, Diddy's trial has been going on, I guess.
It has.
Yes, it's been going
I know.
on for the last 2, 3. I think this is week 3, if I read that correctly. You've had AIDS, who's been AIDS for Diddy, butlers, all these people testifying that about how bad Diddy actually is. There was people coming, so many people giving their testaments, coming out saying that of what Diddy did. I'm going to call him by his real name because that's really who he is, Sean. Sean Combs. Um, you know, Everything that he did, and I did read some of the testaments. I was sickened by it. I'm going to be honest. I was really sickened by it. Um, Very graphic testimonies, very violent. He used violence. He used scare tactics. He used drugs. He would drug people that would go to his house or hotel rooms, or it didn't matter. The guy's sick, and you don't realize how sick somebody is until people actually start coming out. I could see 1, 2, 3 people saying something, and it would be the same exact thing, and then you can tell it's kind of a lie. But when you've got, butlers coming out and people who were supposed to be his secretary aides and everything, all these people coming out giving these testimonies, this guy is sick.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I said, I believe if I read correctly, it's the 3rd week of the trial. Even his ex responded. Even his ex responded and was saying what a bad human being he was. And so, I mean, yeah, just absolutely by far the one, just a terrible human being. And on a side note with Diddy, I think I've mentioned this in the past, but so I read something from Sting, the singer Sting, not the wrestler, but the singer. And he did say that his song, I'll Be Watching You, was, his song. And then Diddy, had come up and had done the I'll Be Missing You with the same exact music to that song. And Sting said, he's glad to see that Sean's in trouble. He's still really angry with Sean at this point. And he sued Sean because of that music, and the judge gave him an option: either drop the song, ignore it, get rid of it, or Diddy can pay you $2,000 a day for the rest of his life, and that's a royalty. And so Sting told the judge, said, I want royalty. I'm getting paid $2,000 every single day for the rest of one of their lives. So, hey, I mean, if somebody wants to pay me, money, I mean, he doesn't want to pay him, but if somebody wants to steal my music, go ahead. I'll take $2,000 a day for the rest of one of our lives. I mean, that's not bad.
So. No, and I wouldn't mind getting royalties to a song, and I wonder how that went about with the wrestler Sting and the performer Sting. How did that work out? I mean,
gimmick infringement.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe not, because one's a wrestler, one's a musician, so maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But gimmick infringement. But
yeah.
All right. So that's all I have for the news. today. There was something else, and I forgot to write it down because I'm like, oh, I'll remember, no problem. Of course, I forget. So I'm sure it'll come up in the news again eventually.
Okay.
So anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment. Where are they now? You've seen the movie Grease, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So Grease, that made in the I don't remember what year, like the 50s.
I was gonna say, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the original Grease with John
Okay.
Travolta.
So this is
So
not a part one, part two, part. I'm just kidding.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
Grease 2 which tanked, and then all of a sudden, I guess they were trying to do like TV show or something, or another
And then they did a
spin-off,
remake of the movie.
yeah, remake or whatever, and it tanked. So yeah, no, this is the original.
Okay.
Um, so John Travolta, who played Danny Zuko, nowadays he's posting to social media videos of time spent with his kids, because he lost his son in 2009, as I guess his son had a seizure while in the bathtub. So lost his
Cool.
son back then. I remember him losing his wife, because his wife had cancer in 2020. So he lost his wife, lost his son. So nowadays he's still acting, but I guess not very much. And but he's spending more time with his kids, the two kids he's got left. So definitely being a good father in that aspect. And then, of course, everybody knows Olivia Newton-John, who played Sandy. She passed away back in August of 22 due to cancer at the age of 73. Um, I mean, it's still a little sad to watch that movie and see her and know that she's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And then next up, we have Stockard Channing, who played Rizzo on the movie. 81 years old now. Now she's 81. She lives in London and is a stage actor. So she's pretty much done with the big time Hollywood, TV acting. She's pretty much gone to stage acting. Then Jeff Conaway, who was Kaneki, he did end up passing away at the age of 60 due to pneumonia with sepsis in 2011. So he's been gone a while as well. That was actually sad of him passing away as well.
Mm.
Then we have Dee Dee Khan, who was Frenchie. She's still acting to this day. And she is an advocate for autism awareness because her son is autistic. So, good for her. I have clients that are autistic. I have kids that are autistic. So I'm happy to hear about it. That she's doing that, and not letting the fame get to her head like some. And then the last Where Are They Now person I have is Michael Tucci, who played Sonny on the movie. He quit he took a break from acting from 2002 to 2012. He teaches introduction to fine arts and theater arts at St. Francis High School. So he's now pretty much a drama theater teacher at this point in his life. So I mean, he's helping out the kids with
That's
what he
good.
knows. Yeah. He's giving back what he got, or not what he got, but he's giving back, which I appreciate, and reading about. And then, of course, some entertainment facts about the movie Grease. Um, let's see, we have the fact that the company, I believe Paramount was the company that I don't want to say sponsor, but where the movie starts up and the
Yeah.
like MGM and anyway, Paramount actually didn't want John Travolta to be Danny. They wanted Henry Winkler to play the Danny character because Henry Winkler was already on Happy Days playing, Fonzie. So they figured, well, he's already playing Fonzie. Let's go ahead and have him over on the movie Grease. Well, he ended up, he was worrying about being typecast, which I just blanked on what typecast was. But yeah, he was worried about it, so he turned it down, and it ended up going to John Travolta. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, being cast into the same kind of show that he was already in another show about. So some actors do that. They want to do different parts in different movies or shows. He didn't want to feel like he was playing the same part in this movie as well as a different TV show. So I mean, I get it. And then the role of Sandy almost went to Carrie Fisher, who we know as Star Wars character.
Leia.
Yep, Princess Leia. I almost said Lana for some reason, but yes, Princess Leia. Yeah, she almost became Sandy, but she turned it down, so it went to Olivia Newton-John. And then I don't know if you know who Marie Osmond is. I was kind of hoping my mom would be on here, but
Donny Osmond and him and all that.
Yep, Donny Osmond's sister.
Okay.
And Marie Osmond had a few hit albums of her own back in the day, but she was also known, or she was supposed to be also. In fact, I think they said that she was the main person that they wanted to play Sandy, and because of the fact that Marie Osmond was like, well, she was raised as a Mormon. She declined the offer and the role because of the fact in the movie Sandy turns into this bad girl image, and she felt because of her being Mormon it was against her religion, and she, Marie Osmond declined it. So that's what when it went to Olivia. But out of Carrie, Marie, and Olivia, the main one they wanted was Marie. So, but it worked out because Olivia did very well in that movie too. So, and then we have Lucille Ball's daughter, Lucy Arnaz. She was supposed to play Rizzo in that movie, but Lucille Ball said no because of the fact that she thought the promiscuous troublemaker role. She thought the promiscuous troublemaker role wasn't good for her daughter. She didn't want her daughter looking like she was a troublemaker who did things that she shouldn't have. So Lucille Ball told them no, which I didn't know about that. And then of course, once again with the Sandy character, the producer wanted Sandy to be American. She even had she originally had the last name, which I don't know why, but the producer wanted the name or Sandy's last name to be Dombrowski. I mean, if you actually look at how it's spelled, Dombrowski, yeah, I don't know. I don't even think that's American. That's more Jewish.
Sounds like it.
But so anyway, he wanted Sandy to be American. Olivia couldn't fake an American accent, so they changed the last name from Dombrowski to Olsen, which made it more Australian last name. The songs on there, there's 4 of them that almost didn't make it on the movie, but it was done very last minute. The song "Look at Me, I'm Sandra D," or no. Sorry, I skipped one. No, the song's "Grease," "Sandy" by John Travolta when they're at the theater. "You're the One I Want," which is at the end of the movie, and "Hopelessly Devoted to You" that Olivia Newton-John sang in that movie. They were done last minute. In fact, they were done filming. They wrapped up. They were done, and then all of a sudden, last minute, somebody in production or it didn't exactly say who, but somebody said, "Wait, we want to add these songs to this movie." They said, "Okay," and then they put it in, but it was very last minute. This, which I'm glad because I like a few of those songs anyway. The song "Look at Me, I'm Sandra D," which was sung by Rizzo at her house, making fun of Sandy. There was a name that was thrown out in that song, which was Elvis. Here's something that I didn't know. When they filmed that scene of her, sitting there singing that song, it was the
Yeah.
same day that Elvis had died. So they
Really?
they did the set or the scene. She sang that song, had Elvis's name on there, and then next thing you know, they find out after the scene was done and filmed, Elvis had died.
Mm.
So I thought that was a little weird.
Definitely.
So I mean, yeah, I thought it was really really odd, and that's all the entertainment facts of Greece that I have. Now, here's my question to you: if there was a movie about you, like a biopic and
Yeah.
biography movie, who would you want to play as you, and why?
I've thought of this, and throughout, just free time, I guess, and I don't know. I don't know who would actually, you know, could play me in a movie or biopic or whatever, and I just don't know. I mean, I'm I'm not a talent scout agent and can figure all that out, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I definitely get it. I mean, it was I actually thought of the question, but then all of a sudden I had a hard time coming up with an answer. But I did have an answer though, and what I want or who I want to play as me is Charlie Hunnam, who is Jax off of Sons of Anarchy. Um, I mean, because for one, yeah, he's got a Canadian accent and I don't. But if you watch Sons of Anarchy, and I think he's like in another movie or two, you can tell that he can hide that Canadian accent very well. So,
Well, I mean, I've heard Canadians talk, and there's little hints of it, but it's not like uh it's not like it's noticeable.
well, yeah, you're not having somebody who's singing that's Canadian or acting in movies that are Canadian. They're not always standing there going Canadian, eh? Stand there talk, eh? Kind of thing.
Well,
So,
I mean, like Jim Carrey, he's Canadian,
well,
but
that's true.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, so I mean, you have those kinds of people that are really good at acting or singing and can hide their actual, country, their accent very well. But no, I would say Charlie Hunnam, because I've got blonde hair. He's got blonde hair. I've got blue eyes. He's got blue eyes, and facial hair. But he is also a family guy, which you can see it in Sons of Anarchy. And he's a great person to be around, which, of course, everybody knows I am. So, but yeah.
I mean,
So
I could take a picture and ask chat, AI and all that.
well, I mean, you could.
What celebrity do I look like? And then maybe that will help me out, but I don't know.
So, but yeah, that was one of my guesses of who I would have is Charlie Hunnam. I mean, I could have said somebody like Adam Sandler or oh man, Keanu Reeves. I almost said Keanu Reeves because I was going for a guy with long hair. Keanu Reeves was another one. So I mean, there's some that I could have picked, but I did pick Charlie Hunnam. So, and then we are going to move on to your favorite and mine and everybody else's celebrity birthdays. So, and I was kind of bored while I was riding in a car, so I wrote a little bit more than usual, but we enjoy doing this anyway. So what the hell, So all right, we're gonna start off with Stephen Tobolowsky, which he was on Wild Hogs. He was the sheriff on there. He was Ned Ryerson on Groundhog Day. I mean, if I think you said you've seen Wild Hogs, but I don't know if you've seen Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
But...
I have. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 60.
Not even close, but he'd like you for that.
Dang.
No, 73.
Okay.
And then we have you watched Supernatural?
Yes.
Okay, Crowley.
A little bit.
Crowley, who was the king of hell. Mark Shepard.
Okay. I'm gonna say 73.
You know what? If you had just flipped those ages around from the first guy
37.
to this guy, it's 60. So you said 60 for the first one, and but yeah, no, Mark Shepard.
I'm just kidding.
Then we have Ted McGinley, who was Jefferson Darcy on Married with Children, which I don't know if you saw that, but he was one of the neighbors.
Yeah. $70. I don't know.
No, hey, you're actually close on this one. 66.
Yay.
So you're only 4 off on that one. Then I did this because he was a big time person. He went and was born in 1908, died in 1989. But I only did this because of how big of a person he is. Mel Blanc, who was the voice actor of Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Tweety, and Daffy Duck.
Yeah, what's up, Doc? I'm just kidding.
So how old would he be today?
He would, I'm going to say, we're going to go 90. I don't know.
Yeah, you're being real nice here. 117.
Oh,
That's why I said you're being real nice on that one.
$1, Bob, $1.
Yeah. Then I don't know. I've never really cared for this show. I don't know if you've seen it. I know other people that have, but the show is Big Bang Theory.
Yes,
The
I have seen it.
character on there is Barry Kripke. I think
Oh,
that's how you pronounce his name. Played by
yeah,
John Ross Bowie.
yeah. He had a speech impediment, if I remember right. 55.
You are actually very close at this point. 54 off by one.
Because I think on this show when he started, he was kind of young.
Yeah, I don't really care for the show. I don't watch it, but I
How
know
come?
people. I don't know. It kind of irritates me, especially that whatever that Brainiac guy
Oh,
starts with an
Sheldon.
S. Sheldon. There you
Sheldon.
go. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really care for it, but um, then we have you know CeeLo Green. He's saying, "Well,
Oh yeah,
forget you." I'm censoring it, but yeah,
yeah. I
forget
know.
you.
I think he wrote both versions of that.
Yeah,
He was also
I'm
the
not.
original.
I'm not saying the original, but yes, for censorship of this show, forget you.
He was also one of the original judges for the voice. I couldn't think of
Yeah,
which one for a second.
yeah, he was actually. Now that you mention it,
That was when it was good. Uh, I think. Um, 68.
wow, really, Chris? Oh,
I
you
don't
just
know. I don't know.
50. He just
50.
went.
Okay. Weird thing is,
Oh.
I thought 50. I'm like, go a little higher.
and then and then we have country singer Winona Judd.
I've heard of her.
Really?
Yes.
She used to travel with her mom for a while there, and her mom's name is Naomi Judd.
Right.
But yeah, Winona Judd.
Um. I'm just gonna go on a limb here because I really don't know. 60.
You know, you are very, very, very close. I've actually seen her in concert, by the way, live.
Really?
Uh, she actually just turned 61, so
Wow, I was off by one. Okay.
pretty good when you don't even know who it is.
No, I've heard the name. I've heard the name.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
and and then the lead singer of Duran Duran, Stephen Duffy. You've heard of the group Duran Duran, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh. 70.
No, but you are close on that one. You're not far
Okay.
far away.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
65.
Okay.
And then the last one for today, before we go into tomorrow, the lead guitarist of Audio Slave and Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello.
I've heard Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about Audio Slave, but I have heard about Rage Against the Machine more.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I might be way off on this one. 77.
Oh yeah, way off. No, 61.
Okay.
And then
But
moving
see,
on to
this is what makes it fun because I have no clue and I'm just going off a whim here.
exactly.
So
And
if
then
any
moving
celebrities watching, I'm sorry.
yeah, he is. He does most of the time he doesn't know. Then we move on to tomorrow's. We have Bentelect, who is a TikTok star.
Oh,
I don't usually
I'm gonna
do
go.
TikTok,
I'm,
but Sarah mentioned something
I'm gonna
about.
go 30. I'm gonna go 30.
You're close. 36.
Okay. Because I'm thinking to myself, they're gonna be kind of younger. I'm not saying all of them are, but
Yeah. No,
most of them are in their 20s to 30s.
Bentelic's actually one of Sarah's favorites, so I went ahead and did that. Then you know who Run DMC is, right?
Yes.
Rap singers from the 80s and 90s. Okay. Daryl McDaniels, who was the D in Run DMC. Or the M. One of them.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 66.
You're close. You're off by 5.
Off by 5. I was
61.
thinking like 1 or 2. Okay.
Turning 61 tomorrow. Then we have everybody should know her. She was on Blue Lagoon, Endless Love, Brooke Shields.
Okay. I'm thinking to myself, no, and you said Brooke. She was like, okay, I know who that is, but um, I'm gonna go 60. I might
Perfect.
be way.
You got it.
Yay!
Yeah, 60 years old tomorrow.
Start out low and go from there. I'm just kidding.
There you go. Then we have Leah Thompson, who was on Back to the Future.
We'll go. We'll go 70.
Nope, not well. 6 off.
Okay.
64. And
Alright.
again, I was hoping Mom would see this, but I wrote down from Cagney and Lacey. We have Cagney, who is played by Sharon Gless. I've never seen the show, but I think she has, and but she's not here. So
I haven't seen the show either. I'm gonna go 75.
she'd be kind of happy about that.
Then it's
No.
over. What was it, 80? I don't know.
82.
Okay.
And then we have I really love this song from him, but I wear my sunglasses at night. Corey Hart.
I'm gonna go 78.
Chris.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. 60. I don't know.
63.
Okay.
And then we have from the phone booth, Horrible Bosses, Miami Vice, Minority Report, Colin Farrell.
I thought you were gonna say Superman.
Superman. I don't even want to know how old Superman is.
When you said phone booth, I thought Superman.
Oh. But yeah, Colin Farrell.
Wasn't he on Saturday Night Live? Or is? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think you're thinking of Will Ferrell.
55.
No. Actually, 49.
Okay.
He's
I'm
still in
not
his
that
40s.
far off.
Oh no, you're not. Then we have Chris Elliott, who was also on Groundhog's Day. He was the cameraman. He was on Scary Movie 2 with the short, hand that stirred the mashed potatoes with his hand. And then
Yeah.
Something About Mary.
Okay. I'm gonna go 60.
Hey, you're off by 5 again. He'd like you for that.
Okay.
65. You're my good hand. It's my short hand. Yeah, my strong hand. Then we have Eric Christian Olsen, who was in Not Another Teen Movie. He was in Dumb and Dumberer. Yeah, Dumb and Dumberer.
70.
No, way off. you're
By how
almost
much?
you're almost around 25 years off.
My bad. My bad.
No, turning 48. But here's
Okay,
here's an interesting fact, and I don't get to say this much, but Eric Christian Olsen was actually born in Eugene, Oregon.
Huh.
So when I see him on like Not Another Teen Movie, or I see him on Dumb and Dumberer, he plays Lloyd Christmas on Dumb and Dumberer, the almost like a spoof to Dumb and Dumber. But he plays Lloyd Christmas on that movie. I look at him now and I'm thinking, wow, and he was born right in my state. Which
Wow.
I don't usually get to say, so I just wanted to point that out. And then we have Tom Berenger, who played in movies like Platoon, Rough Riders, Inception, and Hatfields and McCoys. I recognize the name, I just don't recognize anything that he's done.
Same. Let's see. I'm gonna go 58.
Oh, he would really, really like you for that. No, he's turning 76. So, yeah, he would really like you for that. Now, everybody knows this guy. Everybody. If they don't know this guy, then you have no hope for anything. Clint Eastwood.
I've heard of it.
Dirty Harry. And one of the oldest directors and producers out there to this day.
I'm going to say 65.
Oh my God, he would enjoy you. He'd be so happy. You're off by 30.
Wow.
Clint Eastwood is actually turning 95, and he doesn't even look it, to be honest. He looks about, 70-ish, 70, maybe 80 pushing, but 95 years old for Clint Eastwood. And then You're a football guy. You would know who this is. Joe Namath.
He's probably like, I'm going to say 78.
Hey, you're close on that one. You're close.
Okay.
82. And then the last one for Saturday is Montez Ford, who we know as Mr. Street Profit, who I can't stand in the WWE.
Uh, 33.
Hey, you're closer. You're closer.
Yay.
35.
Okay.
And you know, this would be a perfect time right now for Brandon to still be on here and say, yeah, and who does Randy not, or who does Randy even like in wrestling? Oh, that's right, nobody. And then moving on to Sunday, I got some for Sunday because some of them looked really good. Again, just like Clint Eastwood, if nobody knows who this guy is, there's no hope. Morgan Freeman.
I know who he is. He's also they added him to a GPS feature one year.
Oh, I heard about that. I thought that was funny. I wanted it.
I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna say 70. I don't know.
I know. He kind of does look like he's 70, but no, that's not it. He looks good for his age. Actually, he's turning 88. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he doesn't even look 88. He looks really good for his age. So, but yeah, I even had to look it up. Going, really? Is he really turning? Yeah, he's turning 88. Then you have Andy Griffith. I had to do it because he's a big time name. Born 1926, died in 2012.
I'm gonna go. Who was the name again? Sorry.
Andy Griffith. He had his own Andy Griffith show.
Right. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go 90. I know I'm off, but
What age?
90.
Oh, you're close. Actually, 99. You were in the right decade.
Okay.
And then we have, no, I don't know if you've seen Troy or Braveheart or X-Men 2, but Brian Cox.
I'm gonna say 50.
Oh, he'd like you. 79.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you've ever seen the show. The show came out in the 90s. I watched some of it. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mark Curry.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say 60.
Close. 64. Only 4 off.
Not bad. Okay.
And then we have from Coyote Ugly, if you've seen that movie, Adam Garcia. He was the boyfriend that got what's her face, Violet, in trouble at the bar.
I'm gonna say 70. I don't know.
Have you
I
seen
don't know.
Coyote? Have you seen Coyote Ugly?
No, I have not.
Oh well, okay. I'll give you a pass then. No, 52. You gotta watch it. It's actually a good movie. It has Leanne Rimes on it too, and at the end of the movie, and so yeah, it's a good movie. And then we have, if you ever seen the original, not this crap they've got now, but the original Power Rangers back in the 90s. If you
Yes,
ever
I have.
seen, okay, there's a character on there played by Paul Schreier named Bulk.
Uh, 68. I don't know.
Just throwing them out there now.
Yes, I am.
55.
Uh,
Which I'm surprised he's that age. I didn't know he was that old in the show. So, but, and then another big time person that had passed away, Marilyn Monroe, born 1926,
I know.
died 1962.
I'm gonna say 80.
Yeah, no. She's the same age as Andy Griffith, born in
Okay,
1926.
I didn't know that.
99 years old. Then we have, and again, here's one for mom, but not on here. Lisa Hartman Black. She is the wife of country singer Clint Black. She was also on Knots Landing as Kathy Gary Rush.
I really don't know.
First of all, do you know country singer Clint Black?
I probably do. I don't know it 100%. I'm gonna go 55.
Oh, she would have liked you. 69.
Okay.
And then we have model Heidi Klum.
Uh, 49.
Oh, so close.
Ah,
Actually, 52.
I was like, go low, go way low, go as low as you can.
Then we have, which I'm surprised this is her age, Alanis Morissette. You know who that is, right?
I've heard the name, yes.
She sang Ironic, You Ought to Know, Thank You, just to name a few songs.
I'm going to go 64.
No. No, 51.
My bad.
And then, do you know who the country duo Brooks and Dunn are?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Ronnie Dunn, Although he looks pretty good for his age too.
I'm gonna say 67.
Oh, he would like you. You were off by 5.
Ah,
72.
okay.
Now, here's a fun fact. So, Amy Schumer, you know who that is, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Amy Schumer, um, I did not know this. She actually, and it said on there to recognize who, for people that didn't know, she actually dated Dolph Ziggler.
I thought I heard something about that a long time ago, but I was like, I don't know.
I had no clue that she dated Dolph Ziggler. Anyway, I just had to bring that up. But yeah, Amy Schumer.
I'm gonna go 58.
Oh, Chris. No.
Oh, the way you say that.
44.
Okay.
If she was 58, that would have been like really bad for Ziggler because Ziggler's not that old. Just saying.
You sure?
And then we have David Berkowitz, which for people that know, he was known back in the 70s as the Son of Sam. He was a killer back in that time period. Yeah.
Which name were you talking about? Sorry.
David Berkowitz. He went by the Son of Sam.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. 60.
No, not even close.
Okay.
Although I'm sure he wishes he was 60, doing spending the rest of his life in prison, but no, 72. Then I've got two more.
Dolph Ziggler is 44.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler's 44.
Yeah.
So there you go. Then we have two more. We have the guitarist for Rolling Stones, which everybody knows.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Ronnie Wood.
$59.
Oh, he would like you. He really would. 78. You got to think Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger's in it almost 90. If he's not 90
Right.
now. So.
I did not know. I mean, I knew he was in it, but I didn't know that age. So.
But yeah. And then the last one we have for today is, for Sunday, Michael Landau,
Right.
who is the guitarist for Pink Floyd.
I'm gonna go 75.
Nope. Nope. Damn. So close. 67.
All right. I was thinking 60s. I'm like, oh wait, the last few times that haven't worked out.
So, all right, and then we kind of ran over our time, so we're gonna go ahead and do our top 10.
Okay.
10 or less,
Mm-hmm.
real quick. But so our first topic for 10 or less was Jason Lee. Go ahead and say what you got there, Chris.
So I have from 2000 the most famous You also have Chasing Amy, Dog, uh, uh, Mallrats, The Incredibles, which I did not know that.
Huh.
Um, you also have Alvin and the Chipmunks, the 2007 movie. Um, and that's all I have.
Okay, yeah, I've seen a lot of Jason Lee movies. I really like him, especially in the movies that have Jay and Silent Bob in them. Or Ben Aff. No, not Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Affleck. But anyway, we have Cop Out, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Clerks 2, Jersey Girl, Stealing Harvard, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Almost Famous, Mallrats, Enemy of the State, and Chasing Amy. And like I said, most of those that Jason Lee is in does have, you know, the actors that play Jay and Silent Bob and Ben Affleck, and I mean they're all best friends, so they're pretty much, you know, Dante and Randall, and they're all best friends, so they're pretty much in the same movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Jason Lee, especially Stealing Harvard, Tom Green. Tom Green's kind of annoying, but funny in the same sense. So, and then moving on, we lost her several years ago already. I can't remember the exact year, but Brittany Murphy, 10 or less for her. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got Clueless, 8 Miles, um, Sin City, Don't Say a Word, Just Married, uh, Happy Feet, and that's all I got.
Okay. And it's interesting with Brittany that she was able to go and play so many different roles in so many different movies, and they were different. I mean, you have Little Black Book, Uptown Girls, Just Married, which all three of them are pretty much comedy. And then you have 8 Mile, which is not a comedy, but she did really well in that one. Um, and then you have Girl Interrupted, very, very serious role in that movie, and she did well in that. And then Double Jeopardy. So I thought those, that's my list of her. And the last thing I did, which was kind of weird, but I was like, I'll try it out. Songs from TV shows or theme songs from movies.
Okay.
So, like for example, go ahead.
I was gonna say you're gonna have your list first, or
Oh, I have my list. I'm just having you do it first.
okay. We have My Heart Will Go. My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic. The Friends theme, I'll Be There For You. Of course, probably the most iconic songs, not just in movies, but in general. And I heard it earlier today. Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
Don't You Forget About Me from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Another iconic song that we've heard before, and it probably plays on repeat a lot. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme.
Oh yeah.
Around Halloween, we hear this one, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. And of course, the Simpsons theme.
Good one. All right.
What's yours?
And then, and of course, mine. Like you said, Ghostbusters. theme. My heart will go on just because I'm kind of sappy that way a little bit. And then I have the 18 theme song.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then of course, from Lion King, because when I was a kid, I watched Lion King a lot only because my favorite character was Scar. So the song from there, Be Prepared, I love that song. The theme song for America's Funniest Home Videos. I'm not talking about the crap they're doing now. I'm talking about the Bob Saget era.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go either Bob Saget or Tom Bergeron.
No, 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 Tom. No, no, no. It's Bob Saget. That's the way I was raised. Watching it. That's the way it should have been. I also got same as you. I'll be there for you for friends. I've got In Living Color because I like that show. All That from
Oh, I
Nickelodeon.
forgot about that. You know who sang that song, right? I learned this the
Yeah,
other day.
TLC.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, and then the Dukes of Hazard theme song, just
Haven't
because
heard that in a while. Yeah.
and then of course from um, what was it? It was anyway, Smokey and the Bandit, Eastbound and Down. Great, I love that song too. I always have to hear it. Then the Adams Family theme,
Yeah. That,
Cheers theme, and then finally you said it. Every time this song, I used to hear it because of Rocky. I used to hear it as something for determination, trying to work out whatever. Now every time I hear this song, all I can think about is Supernatural when Dean acts like his leg is a guitar and does an outtake from this song, but Eye of the Tiger. When he's laying in his car, he's kind of dancing around to it, goofing off as an outtake
right.
to that episode. So, and then I'm gonna also throw it in there because it was done excellently. It was done. I don't think it could have been done any better. But from Stranger Things, season 4, Master of Puppets, originally by Metallica. When they did it in one of the scenes in the last episode,
Right.
it was done amazingly. Metallica was very very impressed, and they even threw out the words. They didn't think they could do better than what the guy did on Stranger Things. So I'm just throwing it out there too. Master of Puppets from Stranger Things, because that was done excellently. So anyway,
I'm
I'm
I'm,
gonna
sur-
shut up. What?
I'm surprised you didn't put one certain uh wrestler in there.
You know what? Speaking
Uh,
of,
okay.
I'm not talking about Joe Hendry, okay? I
No, no,
don't
no.
care
I
about.
know. I know.
I, I,
Right.
I mean, if I wanted to go wrestling, I would have said Randy Orton. Of course, was like
That's who
the
I was
top.
thinking. That's who I was thinking.
No, Adam loves Ace with the
Mhm.
network. Loves sitting
Yeah,
there
yeah.
trying to get him and Brandon trying to get me to say I like Joe Hendry and whatever catchphrase that he's got, and I don't even like him. But speaking of guys I don't like, so me and Sarah are sitting there eating breakfast this morning, and then I look up at the
Uh-huh.
TV, and I happen
Uh-huh.
to see Mister uh, commentator,
Pat McAfee.
Pat. Yes, Pat McAfee, and all I could think about was whiting out the TV that's in there so I don't have to see his face. Um, and my first thought was, oh, I bet Chris would be laughing right now if he could see my reaction to what is being played right now. And they were talking about the
What
NFL.
was he talking about?
Him and two other guys were talking about the NFL. It was his show or something like that. It was on mute, so I couldn't hear it. But I just looked up and I saw Pat McAfee. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I wanted to white out the TV so I couldn't see his face. But and eventually we might just put on this show, the top or 10 or less wrestling theme songs, whether if it's WWE, WCW, ECW, doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and end this because we are way over. But go ahead and say your last, whatever you want to say left.
Yeah, so thanks for everyone for watching, tuning in, commenting. One thing I do want to mention, we kind of mentioned birthdays. It's not really a birthday per se, but the TV show Survivor's turning 25 tomorrow. So that's a milestone.
Well, it is a milestone, really, especially because I don't really care for that show, so it is a milestone. So good for them if they're able to stay on that long. But they'll never
still going.
They'll never beat Monday Night Raw. Just putting it out there.
That's true. Well, that is true because they do 13, 14 episodes, and then they pause for 3-4 months.
Yeah. And then they change the name and decide to go someplace else. But anyway, so I'm going to shut up now because of the fact that I don't know who put me in charge of this, but I tend to talk a lot. So
it's okay.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end this, but I want to thank, Brandon for your comments. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope everybody has a great weekend and a great night, and hopefully everybody's week is better next week. Certainly could use that. So, anyway, with my co-host Chris and myself, have a good night, everybody.